One, two, 1, 2. What is up, everybody? I am DJ Gonz. I'm here from Houston, Texas in our JJ Media Studios. Hopefully everybody's having a good, I'm forgetting what day it is. A very good Wednesday, a good hump day. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. They just, got out of work, got yourself a little drink. Or not, for all my non-alcoholic individuals, all good on there. I am DJ Gonz. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm here basically if you just joined the stream from a friend. I just stream myself just messing with Serato Studio, working on beats, trying to create some things, also answering questions that you might have in regards to using Serato Studio. I know I do have some new individuals that are just messing with the software and trying to figure it out. And sometimes you might not know exactly how to do certain things. So if you do want to have an explanation on a certain type of technique or whatever, feel free to let me know in the chat. Also, feel free to share any advice to anybody else in the chat as well. Again, we are in the JJ Media Studios. I got my business partners behind me handling business. So if you are in the Houston area and you want to shoot a dope music video, that is something that we do as well. We do production for, music videos as well. Or if you have in a restaurant that you need music for also, hit me up. I can try to do some placements for you. And with that, some news in regards to Serato. I know they just released the Gumbia pack. I'm actually curious if any of you have been messing with that pack at all. So in regards to wanting to actually download that, because I know that's a question that people get. I'm actually going to show you guys how to download the pack here. Let me go to it here. I know I got that all set up on this side over here. Let me go to my other camera real quick. We're going to go into here. So how this works is you would go to Serato Studio. Most of the times in the software, it's going to give you a heads up in regards to downloading the pack. If not, if you don't know where to go for it, you go to Sounds right here. I'll try to zoom in so you can see it right here. Go to Sounds right here. So you go with that. You click on Sounds here. So now you can actually go to the sound pack itself. You click on it. And with any other pack as well. If you go to that sound pack, it's going to tell you what contents are there. So you'll have, like with this one, it'll be like drum kits, demo projects, instrument patterns. And then you can download the pack here. So I'm going to close this out from there. So once you download the pack, it's going to go into this area down here with all Serato packs. So once I downloaded it, it's here on the bottom, the Cumbia Dominicana kit. See a couple people watching. Got the beautiful wife watching. What's up, babe? How you doing? So I'm actually I'll just kind of play some of the sounds that the Cumbia pack is in. So actually, let me go and just kind of showcase them. So let me go to actually the samples on that pack. I'll go here, and then let me go to. Sorry, I'm just trying to make my way to it. Right here. So I'll just kind of audition everything for you so you can kind of know what's going on. Hey, what's up, bro? What's up, Bay Goods? I went from Serato to FL, and then I'm now currently using Ableton, but I came to check out the stream. Hey, bro, I appreciate it. So, to that point, regardless of what you're using, the biggest key for me, what I would recommend, if you can go from creating to like a finished product, whatever program lets you do that, stick with it. So yeah, so Baygoods, if you have questions on anything, like feel free to let me know. I know kind of jumping around between some software can be a little tricky, so just let me know if you run into any issues, and I'll try to help you out with that. So I'm gonna kind of audition the pack here. Let me exit out of that. I'm gonna showcase some of the sounds that they have. Some people probably have no idea what cumbia is, but here in Texas, we kind of have a good feeling with that. If you need to get like a kind of like a beginner's guide to cumbia, just listen to Selena. That will kind of give you a heads up as far as like that style. So let me just play some of the sounds that are in there. I know that was kind of crazy, so my bad on there. So let me bring this down a little bit. So I'll go down to the next one here. Hey, what's up, Morales? Yeah, bro, absolutely. What is Okay, so thanks for the question again. For those joining us, if you want to jump in the chat, by all means, let me know. I do kind of work on beats, but at the same time, I try to answer as many questions as I can. So I have a question here. I'm doing good. Bro. Hopefully you're doing all right. Let me see here. Let me bring this up. My bad. I know I'm a little quiet on here. Okay, so he asked, got a few questions. Yeah, so automation. What automation is it lets you create a specific action without you having to live do it. So let me actually kind of give you an idea of how that works. So I'm actually I'll just kind of pick a loop or something from here. Perfect. So we got like a cumbia loop going here. So I'm just gonna throw it into the project from there. So the most important thing where you're gonna do automation is you're gonna have to hit this robot icon to actually do that. So once you click on the robot right here, it's gonna open up this panel right here. And basically what it's gonna do, it's gonna let you manipulate as far as like telling it what you want it to do at a certain time. So for example, say I want to do this kind of like filter effect. I'm actually gonna put the, I'm gonna have the loop playing. So move this here. So now we kind of have it going like on a faster kind of beat. So think of it like if you're DJing, you're gonna do like mess with the filter knob. Like you would go here and then turn down the filter, almost like if you're gonna do like a filter sweep. But right now, I don't have a way of telling the software like I want it to do that at a certain time. So what you would end up doing is you're gonna automate this to make that happen. So I'm gonna click on the robot right here. I'm gonna click on filter because that's the parameter that I want to actually adjust. So we have these kind of plot points. I was going to ask you, Morales, I don't know if you've ever done any like video editing or mess with any like video editing software. If you have, like the language that they call it is keyframes. So we're typically doing like these keyframe actions to make certain things happen at a certain time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a point here and a point over here. So I'm telling the software like, hey, I want to start with a low pass filter. Sorry, a low pass filter, and I want it to sweep up all the way back to like the original sound. So when you hear it, you're gonna see this move. I'm not like physically moving it. I just told the software like, hey, I want the software to tell the session or tell the scene I want it to go from here to here at a certain time. So when we did this automation right here, you're gonna hear like the filter happening. I might do like a crazy version of it so you can see what's going on. So I'll move it here, 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 here. So this is kind of like a ridiculous like filter sweep up and down. But what's happening is I told the software to move so you can see it go kind of crazy. Because I told it to go like high pass, low pass, high pass, low pass, high pass, low pass, high pass, low pass, high pass. From there. Hopefully I explained that good to you, Morales. If anything, like let me know. It can be confusing, but automation can definitely open up a lot of ideas in regards to kind of refining your beat a bit better, just to add a little bit more variety to the arrangement. So yeah, so we got that there. Oh, hold on, I know I have some difficulties here. Hold on, let's see here. Let's see. I got my homie Last Call trying to hit me up. Are you guys hearing me okay? Hopefully that helped out, Morales. Let me see here. Sorry, I'm trying to... Someone's almost having some issues here, so I just want to make sure everybody can hear me okay. So... Hey, what's up, Jewel? How you doing? Yeah, Jewel, dope producer. Super dope producer on there. Let's see here. So what EQ is, man, you guys are knocking it out with questions. So the best way I can explain EQ is you're shaping the sound. So like if you're in your car or if you have the option on, say, your iPhone or your Android. So typically it would be thank you guys. Yeah, I just want to double check. I know someone's saying that we're having some difficulties on there. But what EQ is you're shaping the sound. So a good way of explaining it is you have like a set of frequencies. So usually if you open up like an EQ, on the left side is all the low end or your bass, so to speak. And then when you go to the right, you have more of your high end sound. So like say on a car stereo, if you wanted to hear more of the low end, you would turn up the bass, which would be your low right here. And this, let me see if I can actually circle this better. There we go. The low. If you're needing to hear a little bit more clarity on the higher frequencies, which would be like your percussion, some of your vocal elements, you would increase your high right here. So for example, if we play this Goombia loop, I'm going to turn off the automation so it doesn't have that crazy like sweep thing going on. And I think I reset that on there. What's up, man? Hopefully you can hear me. Last call, super dope producer out of New York, the good homie from there. He's always the one lacing me with sample challenges, so I know he sent me one. So I'm going to definitely like check that out and mess with it some more. Or actually, I should say just mess with it because I haven't like actually got to see what the sample is on there. So let me take the filter off, which I think I did. So when I take off the low, what's going to happen is you're going to lose some of the low end of the sound. So I'm going to turn this all the way down. I'm going to turn everything down as far as the EQ and start bringing up certain frequencies. So now it's just all highs. If I bring the lows, you're going to hear more of the kick drum or more of the low end. Mids are going to be more of the like melodic instruments, like guitar, flute, anything instrument-wise, usually going to settle right in there. And so what you're doing with EQ is you're just adjusting. What you're doing is you're adjusting certain frequencies to your liking. So if you needed say the bass guitar, you felt like it just wasn't hitting well as far as like the low end, like feeling it more on your sub or your speaker, you would bring your low end up. You would bring your low right here. You would bring this up more so that you can hear that better. Or say that you had a vocal and you felt like it wasn't as clear, or it just wasn't as clear in the mix. Like maybe you want to bring up the highs a little bit more. So you would mess with that up here. I know I went very, very simplistic on that. So I do hope that that did help a little bit, Morales, on that. It could be a little tricky. Just know that EQ, you're adjusting frequencies from low to high, and you're just kind of deciding like what do you want to adjust. If there's too much bass, I'm like, okay, I'm going to EQ the lows, meaning I'm going to maybe bring the lows down because they're too much in the mix. So if someone says, hey, I need to, something doesn't sound right with my vocal, it could be that it's like, it sounds like the frequencies are hidden too crazy. Like, oh, well, let me check the EQ and see where in that EQ something is sounding off. And then you would adjust like your high, mid, or your low frequency to make sure that it kind of fits in the session there. Yeah, no, it can be a little confusing, but what I would recommend is doing the extreme. So just put like a loop or a sample, and then just start turning down certain things and seeing what gets taken away from it. So then you know, like, oh, that was taken away. So in my mind, if a hi-hat sounds too weird, it kind of sits in the high frequency. So I know I need to adjust that for that sound in particular. So I know the homie sent me a sample pack. So I'm curious of what it is. Last call always sends me some stuff. Okay. Let me see here. Let me see if where he sent it to me. I imagine he sent it to me earlier. Last call. Let me see. Ah, there it is. Okay, cool. Cool. Got it. All right. So he's always lacing me up with some challenges. So I'm like, okay, let's go. New stuff. What? New stuff. Okay. Again, this is never planned. It's just like, hey, let me throw a challenge your way. So I'm just gonna drag it in. We're gonna see what it is. We're gonna go from there and see what happens. So Brown Joel asks, recently, even when I've EQ'd other sounds, the moment I add the bass, the whole beat dips in sound. Do you know what this could be? So, good question. I've run into that at times. What you can try to do is, and I'm sure probably some people have thrown it out there, is do sidechain to everything if you're trying to, like, say, hear your kick come in better. Also, like, what I mean is, like, do a sidechain of the bass to everything else. Meaning, do bass, sidechain a kick to it, and then bring your bass down a little bit from there. Yeah. I know it sounds a little weird. Also, it could be, so think of EQ as like a play. So I know I'm going to go way back on this, like super, super way back. So back in the day, during middle school, we would have, the drama class have a play. So they would be on stage. But does everyone stand in like one straight line? No, they like stand, they all have their space. So sometimes in regards to the bass, yeah, I know, right? So sometimes with the bass, the thing that conflicts with it is the kick drum, because they're kind of like sitting in the same frequency. So what you could do is that kick drum, the actual like sound of the kick might be too long. What you could do is shorten it, because sometimes what will happen is the bass will kind of kill most of the kick drum like punch. So if you sidechain the bass to the kick, make the kick drum a little shorter, you're going to have the punch of the kick plus the full tone of the bass without them conflicting with each other. I know I sound like a super the one sound I need to definitely add on here is the nerd alert sound from Michael Myers, or not Michael Myers. The whole oh my god, I totally forgot the name. International Man of Mystery, Austin Powers. That's what it was. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot that. I can't believe I remembered it now. On there. Yeah, no, that was like one of my like worst issues is I would have everything good. The minute I would add a bass, everything went to shit. Like, it wouldn't work. I was always like, dude, what's up? At the same time, it's one of those I had to bring the bass down a little bit. What I would also do is kind of like EQ the bass, where I turned off the highs and mids, and I would do like a limiter and then a sidechain, because I still wanted to get the low end from there. But yo, like, great question. All right, let's see here. So No Drum Samples asks, what do you know filter? I'm pretty sure that is bandpass, but how do you steep the cutoff? Actually love that filter. Oh, no, you're good. No drum set, man. No worries, bro. I'm actually trying to learn my my Japanese, so arigato gozaimasu. So in regards to the filters themselves, so think about if you use just this knob right here, and I'll play something in relation to it so you can see what's going on. And I'll bring that down a little bit. The minute I start turning this knob to the left, and just realize I picked the sample, not the kick drum. So if you're turning something to the left, all you can hear is the low end. So what they'll call a low pass filter is that you're letting low frequencies pass through. So that's why I can hear low tones and not high tones. But the minute I start turning this to the right, you're hearing more middle and high end frequencies. So this is a high pass filter because you're letting high pass frequencies through, but you don't hear any lows. And then I know I got a question here. I know I'm going super nerdy on it. Appreciate it. The Spanish, I'm trying to get more proficient. Lo puedo hablar, pero tengo a veces problemas con palabras en específico. Trying to be multilingual here. So what limiters are is a limit. So think about it. They set a limit to how loud a sound can be, but also how loud a sound can go. So some people will tell you like, hey, you're going to put a limiter on the master. So basically, a limiter is like, hey, I'll allow you to go to this amount of sound, but the minute you go past it, I'm going to push it down. So you know what? Just so I can do this in context here, I'm actually going to add a limiter to this drum loop so you can see what happens here. I would figure that. I would just do it in real time so you can see what's going on. So I'm going to actually just go to effect, which I did here. Go here. Y'all are killing it with questions. This is awesome. So let's see here. So I'm going to do a limiter. And what it'll also do is it'll like bring up the overall volume of the sound itself. So if you notice, if I just start turning this knob, it's going to start getting louder. But we haven't peaked from here. So let me go to like say I went to the master. So say I turn this up. Hopefully I don't destroy your speakers. So I do apologize if some speakers are going to get broken here in the next 10 seconds. I'll just bring this down real quick. So what a limiter tries to do, I'm gonna like right now we're gonna hit this red. Oh no, you probably can't see that. Move this over a little bit. There we go. You're gonna see this right here. This right here. It's gonna go red. It's like flashing red right there. So I'm gonna go even louder here. See how that's red? If I hit this limiter, it's not red anymore. Now, the only problem with that is sometimes you're going to lose the dynamics because you're going to have like this whole like brick, they call it like a brick wall of sound. And you kind of start losing like the punch. You might lose like some certain dynamics of the sound. So you have to be very careful of how you mess with these limiters. What a compressor does is it brings low sounds up and brings loud sounds down to make everything balanced as possible. So actually, like with my mic right now, I'm using a compressor. So if I talk really quiet, it still tries to bump up the volume to try to keep everything as balanced as possible. I know usually with that one, as far as like compressors, it can be a bit confusing. My best thing to tell people to do is actually like get a limiter and turn it all the way up and see what it does to your sound, and also bring it all the way down just so that you compare and see what's going on. So then you can kind of fine tune what you're trying to do. I know I'm going super super nerd talk right now. I know. But yeah. Wow, super nerd talk, man. Super nerd talk. But hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you guys out with these kind of questions. Which I'm glad you guys are asking, which is awesome. So if you don't feel nervous, like by all means, like go in the chat, ask Ask away. If I will tell you this, don't know I don't know everything, but I will try to help out as much as possible. Because it's still been a oh man, big ups Morales. Thank you so much for that. I try, so I'm gonna give you definitely a boom for that. Like, thank you, homie. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, last call. He sent me the sample. I have no idea what it is, but we're gonna check it out. So let's see. Let's see what's up with this. You know what? Let me go to the regular tempo of the sample and make sure the key is off here. I can hear it in its original form. So it says it's 84 BPM. So let's move it to 84. And that it's in E minor. So let's move this, change this key to E minor. And then I'll play it. I'll see what happens on here. So let's see what's going on here. I know that I'm getting some questions here on the Facebook side of things as well. Sorry. Okay, cool. All right. Look into phase interference and destructive phase. Maybe your tracks are out of phase. That's why that could be another thing as well. That's definitely, damn, Brown Jewel. Yeah, that's definitely level 2. Okay, so Morales says, my computer broke at the beginning of 2021, and I've only just gotten it replaced. So I'm trying to relearn everything again. Yeah, so props to you, because that I know some of our producers here in the chat have run into that. I definitely had a good December as far as like DJ gigs, so I was able to save up and get me a new MacBook for production. But before that, I was definitely my other one was kind of like on life support, making it happen. The biggest thing I will advise you, Morales. So on on a nerd side of stuff, so 2 key components. I'm gonna type it in here on the chat. Is if you can get, so like I'll type it in right now, like top things to add to your computer. I'll put it in here. Hopefully I don't. Yeah, no, that's what's up. Man, Vito, what's up, bro? Thank you for joining, man. So let's do this. Top things to add to your computer for performance. I know you hear me clicking away. Click. Okay, so it's going to be if you can add an SSD drive to it, meaning you have no mechanical parts going like spinning or anything like that, will definitely help for sure. As far as like the speed transfer of getting like samples to your program, you can definitely beef up your computer with like an SSD, which means it means a solid state hard drive. Also, know how much RAM is on your computer, and if you can max out your RAM, do it. Max out your RAM. It stands for random access memory, meaning how quickly, if you open up a bunch of applications, how quickly it can move between them. The other thing as well would be, alongside your SSD, is like how much storage that you have. Actually, I mean, I'm gonna go. Let me open up this one page here. Serato Suit actually has like a blog post as far as optimizing your computer. You guys are killing it on questions. Like, you guys are awesome with that. I'm gonna put this in the chat as well. And I'm not like someone that's like, oh, I'm only using Mac because Macs are the best, blah, 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 blah. I'm not that type. I've been actually looking at like other Windows PCs that could help with that. So I'm going to put a link here. Definitely, if you can check that out, go for it right here. I put a link that lets you, it gives you like an optimization guide. so that you can like optimize your computer as much as possible to use the software. Because what some people forget is like, hey, Serato Studio is processing a lot of audio. I don't think I should have my YouTube up, Netflix up, Google Chrome up. I'm running like TurboTax. I'm running what is it, Counter-Strike CS in the background. You gotta like optimize it as much as possible so that you don't run into issues. Another key thing, if you are running into weird little glitches because maybe your computer's not, I guess, up to snuff, or it has a little bit, it's not quite optimized, the number one thing is to adjust your buffer size. I know I talked to my homie last call about this, is you go to this gear icon here, and you're going to change this right here, buffer size. So right now, if you go a lower number, if you're using a MIDI controller or anything like that, it'll be really, really, really tight response. Like the minute I hit my pad on my MIDI controller, it's gonna hit. But if you're getting a lot of crazy glitches, you got to change this number to a higher number, so that at least your software can run efficiently. It might have a bit of a delay, but you're not gonna have a lot of crazy glitches. So hopefully that helps out with that. I know we're going super super nerdy, but this is like super helpful stuff if you're running into problems as far as just overall performance with using the software. Just like with anything, make sure you have all your other applications like turned off. If you're using like certain plugins that require internet, try to run an Ethernet cable if you can. Just things to kind of mitigate that issue with performance. So yeah, dude, great, man. Y'all are killing it today, man. Absolutely. Like absolutely killing it on there. What up, Kenneth? What's up, bro? So let me play this sample. Let's get into it, baby. Let's go. I'm gonna play this real quick. Again, I have no idea what my homie last call sent me, but I'm gonna play it and we'll see what I can do with it. It could sound like complete garbage. It could sound good. It could win a Rotten Tomato. It could win a Grammy. Who knows? But I'm just gonna play it right now. Okay, that wasn't bad. Definitely gave me Just Blaze vibes for sure on that. So let's see what I can cook up real quick on that. Dun, 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 dun. And I know it sounds a little different because it says 167 and then it analyzed it as 84. So I might bring it up to 168 and see how it sounds. Yeah, I definitely don't like that right now. And I'll go into a bigger view so you can kind of see my Serato Studio screen a bit better. There we go. Bum, bum, bum. Dun, 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 dun. What I might do is just take the last sounds of each little hit and create like stabs. Flip this over. Do a stab right there. Bum ba dum ba dum. Da dun dun dun. Da dun 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 dun. Da dun 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 dun. Yeah, producer tip, like sing it out loud to help yourself. If you run into any problems with that. Dun, 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 dun. I kind of like that. So let me go to that cue there. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna combine this with the cumbia kit. What up, Random? What's up? Yeah, it's definitely East Coast vibes, and I'm gonna totally turn it into Dominican, south of the border vibes. So let me speed this. Let me speed this up to like 100. Bum, 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 bum. So I know a question people will ask is when they have it in this like one shot mode, which is this right here. It would be this little icon right here. That means if I just hit the pad, it's gonna go from this starting point all the way to the end. So say you don't want that. See how it keeps going? If I don't want that to happen, I have to mess with these little, I call them like little flags. This is your start. So this is your starting point. This is your end point. When I drag this end point, it's creating this border basically. It's telling you like, hey, I'm going to start here, but I'm going to end right here. So if I hit Q.4 now, it's going to end right here. See how it stopped? So if you're running into issues where it plays all the way through, actually create a start and end point. Because if you don't, it's going to keep playing all the way to the end. So we got that there. So let me open up my little cumbia loop that I deleted earlier. Put that there. Paste that in. Bro, how easy was that? Just add a cumbia loop to it and it always works. I said this on the last stream. Every time I just throw a cumbia loop, it'll usually fit anything, which is insane. And then you just stack stuff on top. I mean, it's just that simple, which is crazy. Crazy, crazy. Cray, cray. Super cray, cray. But I might change the key a little bit. We can go down. Right. Definitely an idea builder for sure on that. Questions. Have any of you downloaded? Yes, I know, Greg. I know, Mr. Last Call. Okay, I'll flip it here, also. Challenge accepted, sir. Challenge accepted. I know. Ta-da! I'm gonna try to show you how I will flip that like that. Okay, so let's do this here. Get that out of there. Boom, boom. Dun, 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 dun. I was kind of like thinking in my head how I want to do it. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, it's definitely a heat maker's vibe for sure. Like they would end up like doing like a stab kind of sound. Like let me see. Boom, 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 dun, 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 dun. All right, let's come up with something real quick. So let's see. Challenges. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely a Cameron joint for sure. So I'm gonna actually lower that. It's like too much. So kind of what we were talking about before, like there was like too much high end on that sound on this drum loop last call. But I still want to keep some of the elements of it. So I'm going to just use a filter and just adjust volume on here. But then I'm going to move this up so I can kind of see like where these kicks are happening. So I can see a kick here, kick here, kick here, kick here. I'm just going to like paint these in real quick. And then there's a snare right there. Now I can just add whatever drum I want to that from there. So let me just add a kick that I want here. Kick. We'll do that one there. I'll get a Just Blaze kick just because I'm feeling like it's just blaze. Just blaze. I'll do this one right there. I'm just going to layer this on top just because I want to have a little bit more emphasis on that kick drum. Go to my snare. Great questions. Like, you guys are definitely killing it on the questions. I'm just trying to make sure I step up on what I got to do. Now, I know some are going to see over here. So, swing. Good question. So, I'm going to mute everything here. I'm trying to make sure I'm on my game today. I see what's up. So what swing does is you're probably going to hear this term that a lot of people will say is like, man, I add swing so my beats don't sound so robotic. That's my like whack robot dance right here. So like on old MPC 1000s, like old MPCs and other like samplers, they would have this swing function. So we have this line right here, this number 1. We're kind of on this kind of grid system. So what swing does, it kind of moves these over a little bit, even though you have it like right here. Oh, good question, Kenneth. I've had Serato Studio, damn near when they released it. So I would say, I think it's been up almost like 2 years. Maybe like the first month it came out, I started using it. So kind of like background story. I know we're kind of going into other stuff. So the way I started, as far as like beat making stuff, I was using an MPC 1000. So some people are like, "Hey, what the hell is MPC 1000? I have no idea. Can I go to Guitar Center and buy it? Can I go to Mega DJ Center? Hey, wink, wink, and buy it?" No, because they discontinued it. But it looks like this. Boom, right there. So it has pads and everything. Everything's internal. Here you had a sequencer like built in. You had your different banks. This is where you would record, overdub, do all your sequencing. Then you had like your second functions here. So what swing will do is, let me give you a really good example right now. Do empty one. I'm going to do this hi-hat right here. So right now this hi-hat's probably going to sound like complete dog shit, but it's okay. And I'll put in, I think 2 years. I'm going to answer that question. 2 years, I think. And again, I'm terrible as far as like trying to let people know what's going on. So I'm DJ Gonz. I'm from Houston, Texas. If I have any fellow Houstonians in the chat, feel free to put your H's up, I guess. What it do, baby? Or if not, just let me know where you're checking the stream out. If you're international, let me know. You can let me know in your native language. I'm totally okay with that. I'm down for learning languages. Still trying to learn my Japanese. I'm still terrible at it, but it's all good. I definitely know how to say, how do you say this in Japanese? Nihongo ga nanto iimasu ka? That's in my brain forever. So what I would do is, I don't know why my Twitch is acting crazy. Oh, we're good. Okay, I'm bugging. Let's see here. Open up my chat. Oh no, my chat went away. Sorry, guys. Trying to get this damn technology to work with me here. There we go. So I have my swing enabled right now, or I don't. So I just have this hi-hat. It's gonna just go all the way through. So if I play the hi-hat, it's gonna sound like that. I have no swing added to that. But I'm gonna start turning this swing, and you're gonna start noticing like a difference in how that hi-hat is being played. Going. I'm gonna turn the swing back down. So what it's doing, it's like kind of shifting the hi-hats over off the grid to actually do like almost like a offset triplet. And what it does is supposed to give you a better like natural feel, is what people will say. So imagine you're you've had it for a year and a half, man. Big ups to you, man. Kenneth, have you run into any like weird issues? Have you been having fun with it? What's been something that's been kind of like a pain in your butt using it? And what's been a good thing about it for you? So with swing, it's almost like if you had a drummer or a conga player, to ask a conga player to play the same volume of a conga like this for 2 hours straight, it's damn near impossible. Unless they were on, something like so if they were on something to continually keep the same volume, like playing the conga drums or their drum kit, it's just not going to happen. So that's why some people will say it sounds so robotic, because it almost sounds too perfect. So what swing does, it gives a little bit of like an offbeat type of situation. Some people will say that like Jay Dilla was, who's a super dope hip hop producer, out of Detroit, rest in peace, Dilla. He would do this thing where, you should definitely YouTube the Vox, VOX. I'm going to do that right now. If you want to get a good idea as far as an idea on swing, is to definitely check out the producer Jay Dilla. Just phenomenal producer. Created so much cool stuff. The record or the video I would highly recommend is the Vox Jay Dilla MPC 3000 video. So what I'm gonna do is actually put this in the share. So if you want to bookmark this, and they kind of, hey, what's up, Silence? What's up, dog? Man, thank you for joining, man. Much love, bro. So I just put in the chat the Jay Dilla Vox video. They did a really, really good job. And there's a certain part in that video that talks about like how he would do swing, where Questlove would talk about where the minute he would hear like say the kick drum. So let me just make a beat. Freaking, I'm over here like talking like theories and equations and crazy stuff. Might as well just do it, right? You're like, bro, I'm like, I don't want to go to math class. I just want you to make a beat, dog. Shoot. Let me just change this up real quick. Ooh, that sounded like hot garbage. So, you know what? Let me just make my own kick, snare. That, dude, that, dude. I'll put a hi-hat in there. So right now, there is no swing happening at all. Like, we are at 0. The minute I turn this, that whole drum sound is going to sound completely different. I'm going to turn the swing down to 0. I'm going to slowly turn this up so you can start hearing the difference. See how you can hear the difference happening? Even at 50%? Shit, even at like 30%. Remember, we're going to go back to 0. So it's going. I'll go to like 20%. It's going. Go to 40, 50%, 60. So what it does, it like shifts the samples off the grid to where it's more of an. So people will confuse when someone says off beat as sounding like shit because it's not on beat. It's just off the grid per se. For that, I know when someone talks about swing, it can be like a can of worms. It can be like a whole like, what is swing? What does it do? Why do they have it? What's going on? I don't know. We can go into that craziness. But just know that swing will just move things like from the grid, off the grid at a certain amount of time. Put it in that reference. Again, what I would recommend, the best way to really hear it is just put a bunch of hi-hats all the way across and just have it at 0% and then just start moving the swing value up more and more. And you'll hear how crazy it starts to change on you. And then you just do it to like different tempos. So like if you made like a house beat at 120 and then move the shift around. Yeah, Morales, bro, I'm a jokester. That's just how I roll. Yes, I have the new update. I decided to upgrade to the Monterey operating system on Mac because I was having crazy saving issues on Big Sur and Catalina, where I would get this like internal error situation like all the time. So I decided to go to Monterey. Have not had that issue anymore. I know they are working very hard to get that situated if you are running Catalina or Big Sur. I know most of the times those running Big Sur are running into issues saving. So just get really comfortable with using the Command S button, like save all the time with that, because you definitely don't want to have to redo your session because it wouldn't save for you. So let's keep it moving here. So hopefully that answered your question, Morales, on there. Like, really good question, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, usually like swing and automation are actually like usually the number 1 and 2 questions people ask that are kind of confused with it. So yeah, so I'm glad you asked it because some people still get confused with it. So like, thank you for having yeah, I get a little funky with it. As far as like being a little jokester with stuff, but hey, let's have fun, right? That's the whole goal of everything. Um, so last call, I know you wanted me to do something crazy with this sample. Let me figure this out. Okay, bum ba dun 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 dun. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna make a Jersey Club out of that. Dun 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 dun. Let me bring that tempo up quite a bit, and then we go to just my Serato studio screen on there. I'm glad that helps, man. Like, no, I appreciate that. I'm glad that at least you have some better insight on that to let you be more creative and not have that feel like a stumbling block for you. Because I know that can be kind of annoying if you don't know something and you want a little bit more clarification. So yeah, no, man, and no question is stupid. Like, don't feel like, oh, if I ask this, he's gonna clown me on it. No, not at all, not at all. So doom 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 doom. We're gonna move it up to like 134. Doom 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 doom. There we go. Doom 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 doom. Doom 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 doom. Ah, no, that's not right. Doom 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 doom. Oh, that's why I can move there. Nope. Doom 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 doom. Oh, you can put it on there. Doom 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 doom. There we go. There you go. There's your Jersey Club-esque beat right there. As far as like the kick drum, at least. Bum, bum. So that might add like a side chain to that there. But I know my homie last call wanted me like to be super hip hop with it, so I'll make sure I get to that on there. Okay, so move that there. I'm gonna add this side chain, which what I'm telling it to do is like side chain will like duck certain frequencies, or it'll duck a specific sound so that something else sounds more present. So I'm telling the side chain like, hey, I want the kick drum of my drum kit to trigger the sound here so that it ducks.
What? Turn the fuck up.
Might add like a super sound. Add that on top right there. Make a little Jersey Club real quick. Side chain to that too, so it doesn't get in the way. Maybe change the key, see what happens with that. Dun, 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 dun. Then you can be goofy and like add a whole hi-hat right here. But say I want just a side chain on the hi-hat, I'll just add it to its own section right here. I know I'm just being goofy right now. I'm trying to tell it I want it to sidechain what's it on that? Oh, I wanted to sidechain the kick. Why wouldn't do it? Drum loop splice. No. There we go. Then I can be super like weird and then automate like the pitch of the hi-hat just to be an idiot. So I just like automate this, bring it down, bring it up. So then you'd be goofy and then like add.
Get down. Get down.
So put that little, put a little goofy like vocal on top of that. So you're like.
Get down. Get down.
Do a loop of that.
Get down. 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 Get down.
So we can get super ridiculous with that right there. But we have that. So we know that we can go Jersey Club if we wanted to. We have that. Now we can get really, really insane. So let's bring it down from here. Let's go back down to like 89 from here. Get rid of that hi-hat. So let me get rid of that, slow that down. I'll change the key. So like, oh, okay. I instantly hear like a bass line that I would need to add to that. Let me see here. Let's see what I can come up with. Whoa, that sounds crazy. Take playing key off. So right now I'm just kind of seeing like how the tones work, if they're off key or not. Doom 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 doom. Let me go to my keyboard cam. Doom 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 doom. Doom 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 doom. Oh, reggae. Okay. All right. Challenge accepted. I know some people are like, oh, you're going to use like a cheat code. I'm like, probably, but I don't give a shit. I just have to find something that like gets me going. So like if I use it, I'm going to use it. That's why I have it, right? No, definitely not. Yes, I'm gonna use that. Let's see. I'm gonna take that tone. Let's see here. I'm gonna do some kind of sound design shit to it. All right. Let me add. Last call, you got me, bro. You got me, man. You got me like really thinking. Like I appreciate that. You're trying to make me like bend my prisms to figure out what I gotta do with this. Call it prism benders when I have to like really, really think. It's like my brain just goes. So let's see. Okay. Boom. I'm going to try to use this OZT over the top compressor just to kind of mess with frequencies to kind of boost them up a bit. Dum 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 dum. Bum 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 bum. Ooh, that's a crazy amount of reverb. Too much. Definitely lower that. Copy that kind of drum pattern. So if like say I wanted to layer that, like what I can see from here is, sorry, I'm trying to adjust these, like move these around. Like this is all like low end. So it's like kick drum, 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 kick drum. I'm just gonna paint those in. Boom, 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 boom. It's almost like 4 on the floor basically. Boom, boom, dum, dum, dum. Shit, I'll just add like something on top of that. Like, why not? Olvídate, voy a dar. Hold on, I know I got some like Afrobeat like kind of loops, but I want like percussion is what I'm looking for. Add that right on top of that. So let's do this here. Move this here, put this there. So there's the Afrobeat kind of style. Alright, let me add a little vocal to it real quick to get a like vibe to that. Nobody defend it. There we go. I'll add that real quick. So we can like scratch like reggaeton to that. Or dance off. Nobody defend the poor and the needy. Babylon, you're too flipping greedy. Nobody defend the poor and the needy. Babylon, you're too flipping greedy. Nobody defend the poor and the needy. Babylon, you're too flipping greedy. Nobody defend the poor and the needy. Babylon, you're too flipping greedy. Nobody defend the poor and the needy. Babylon, you're too flipping greedy. Nobody defend the poor and the needy. Babylon, you're too flipping greedy. Nobody defend the poor and the needy. Babylon, you're too flipping greedy. Nobody defend the poor and the needy. Babylon, you're too flipping greedy. But nothing defend the poor and the needy. Babylon, you're too flipping greedy. But nothing defend the poor and the needy. Babylon, you're too flipping greedy. But nothing defend the poor and the needy. Babylon, you're too flipping greedy. But nothing defend the poor and the needy. Babylon, you're too flipping greedy. But nothing defend the poor and the needy. Babylon, you're too flipping greedy. go. There's some like kind of like Afrobeat-esque kind of stuff. You said drum and bass. Let's go. Let's do drum and bass. I'm gonna put it like at 160 something. Ooh, that vocal is not good on that. Now everything will sound like hot garbage. So let me just adjust that. All good, bro. No, I mean, it is a hard sample. It's just trying to implement it in whatever style. So, no, this is actually like a really, really good challenge because it just lets you know like where you could take it if you want to, or what's the inspiration for whatever type of producer is like working on it. So you might have a drum and bass producer that might look at it completely different than say like a trap producer would. It's just it's where you're just kind of knowing the recipes of what'll work for whatever style. Like if you're getting into like making a bunch of different crazy stuff. So I'm just gonna solo that. Just love that break. Whoa, shit. Let me slow that down. And it didn't do it right, so I'm gotta mess with this grid real quick. That's ridiculous. No, that didn't sound right. No, I don't like that. Why are you doing that? No. Oh my god, look. Alright, let me figure that out. Let's see here. Add some on top of that. Kind of a shitty drum and bass, but it is what it is. I know. I tried on that. I gave it all I got. Pop champagne real quick. But it's all good. It's all good. That's a challenge. Sometimes you can hack it, sometimes you can't. It is what it is. But let me see here. I did get a sample from my my MC on our hip hop crew named Chronological. The way I'm phrasing everything, yes, that is a shameless plug. He did send me one, so I'm actually curious of what it was. So let's see what it is. And that sounded really weird the way I phrased all of that just now. Let me open it up. Let's see what it is. I think it was. Yeah, let me load that in. So, shout outs to Stress. Now residing in Colorado. Big ups to Stress. Having fun out there. Our album will be releasing soon. Straight up hip hop album, gangstar-ish. I got to start mixing it down here in this next week. Hopefully get it released in the next 3 weeks is the goal. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll be posting stuff with that soon. So just a little shameless promo here, just while I get everything prepped. Here, okay, let's see. Let's see what we got here. He sent me this over today. So he's like, "Hey, Gonz, trying to make cool shit." I'm like, I wish it was that easy. It's definitely some time that I gotta take to make this happen. Already thinking.
Yeah. My sweet baby, yeah. Now some people get a groove.
Those organs sound really dope.
From drinking.
Drinking.
All night long.
Big ups.
Other people get a groove, baby. From watching TV at home. Oh, I get my groove.
Okay, there's some dope shit up here. Jesus.
From going to a picture show. Then there are other people, baby, who wanna get there from where fancy.
So right now I'm just kind of picking what I think sounds good in the sample.
From you,
I definitely like the strings that are happening.
From you,
That was dope. Let me favorite that. Let me go back to the area.
people get a groove from going to a picture show. Then there are other people, baby, who wanna get there from wearing fancy clothes. But I get my groove, baby. I get my groove. I get my groove.
I'm already kind of like hearing some stuff in here.
From you, baby, I get it from you.
I could just go straight from that right there.
I get it from you, darling.
Ah,
Oh, yes, I do.
so to Morales on that. Good question. Okay, so with the Serato packs, it's a little different. So let me actually kind of go step by step on that. It doesn't really. I wish they kind of did the packs a little differently, but let me kind of go through the process of how that works. Because you probably installed it. It's just you didn't even think it did, because it really doesn't show you like graphically very well sometimes. So let me actually just pick. Let me just get a pack here, which I probably already downloaded, but it's all good. So I'm gonna go here. So to those that have never downloaded a Serato sample pack, I'm gonna go right through the process to let you know how that goes. So you would go to Products, Serato Studio, go to Sounds right here, click on Sounds. So you have them up top if you want. They also have them, all the way down here that you can pick. So say, I'm just gonna try to pick one here. Jazzy Jeff, say I picked that. I'm gonna go to download pack. I'm gonna put it on my desktop here. Hit save. So you're gonna, move this up a little bit. So right now it's doing its thing of saving the pack. The way you know. What up, Mo Drinks? How you doing, homie? Thank you for joining the stream. Appreciate it. Much love. DJ Mo Drinks, another Houston native, doing the damn thing. Big ups to you. Well, that sounded very clink, 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 clink. So, I have this here. So, once you download it, say you double click on it. On the corner, let me change the screen so you can see that a bit better. So, it's kind of tough. So once you double click here at the very bottom, it's actually going to install the actual pack. It's going to install the pack. You're going to see a progression bar here, but it happened very fast. So I'm going to see what happens here. Oh, snap. What up? What's up? What's up? I don't know, I'm going to butcher it. Pulguita. What's up, Dave? What's up, Big Dow? Thank you for joining, bro. So I'm going to double click here. So double click. Oh, shit. It's down here. It's saying extracting DJ Jazzy Jeff Soul Beats pack with the progression bar. See how quick that happens right there? If you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't even know that it's happening. But the way that you know that you installed it is you're going to go to your Serato DJ library. You're going to go here. Then you're going to go to, oh, my apologies. You're going to go to audio samples, all Serato packs. Click here. This is where all the packs that if you did that double clicking situation, you're going to see them here. So the DJ Jazzy Jeff one is right here. And then these are like all the other ones I've like downloaded from them. I know it's kind of tough sometimes because you're like, dude, did I actually download it or did I not download it? Oh, okay. So let's see here. Trying to add the startup, but they don't show up after I install them. Okay. Hopefully, when you already did like the double click, are you using Mac or PC? Yeah, like Brown Jewel says. Yeah, if you're using a Mac, just make sure that you keep them all in the same area. But again, like once you double click the actual pack here at the bottom, it's going to tell you like the progression of it installing into Serato. And then you have to make sure that you either go to the drums or the audio samples and go to all Serato packs because that's where it stores it in over here. If you don't see it in here, then yeah, there's definitely a problem of how you're downloading it. But if not, that's where they stay. That's where like the root folder of when you install the sound pack where it goes to. I know I sound like super nerdy, like tech support, but hopefully that helped out. Okay. Yeah, so Morales, just make sure that you check like your drums section here and you go to all Serato packs and then click on this little, on the crate itself to actually open up the pack section here. And then once it should download into there. Just make sure like once you download it, you double click and that should like kickstart the process with that from there. So yeah. Okay, so let's keep moving here. So let's see what we got.
Then there are other people. Baby, I get it from you. Baby,
I can do like a chop right there. Boom.
Then there are other people.
Oh, right here.
Baby, I get it, baby, baby, I get it from you, darling. Whenever you let me know, baby. Ooh. Ow, baby. Baby, I get it for you, darling. Oh, yes, I will.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Baby.
So to your point, Morales, I do a lot of dumb shit, but it ends up helping me out. So yeah, no, you're good. You're good. It happens to all of us. So no worries. No worries.
Get it from nobody but you, girl, can make me groove. You make me move, baby. You really know how to make me.
Has a hit right there. Trying to get right on the hit of that. If I was gonna go like, pretty simplistic on that, just take the loop and make a drum over there.
Baby, yeah.
Let's just keep it like super, super simple, just to kind of get inspiration going. Just have that there. Ooh, can you resample into it? Oh man. If you had something in there. Now, question to you on that. What are you trying to do exactly as far as like trying to resample an audio clip? Let me see if you can route it. Let me see. Make that 4 bars. Should have just let it play. My bad.
Baby, yeah. Baby, yeah.
I'll just do that one real quick. I think that'll work. That'll work just for right now. Just gonna get something going here. Nope, actually not. So no. So this leads to a good question. Like some people will kind of get stuck on like, oh, my drum loop doesn't actually work. So like, yeah, you have to like kind of manually create a drum. Boom, boom. So what I do is just kind of look at the low end and see where like snares and stuff are hitting at. So I can definitely see that this snare isn't exactly hitting on the 2. That's where the swing could come into play. So that my snare will actually hit in conjunction with this sample. See, like right now, like this snare is going to sound early. What up, Mo Drinks? The homie. I might actually have to move this here. That sounds too late. That sounds too late. So now this is where the grid can actually come into play. So let me see if it gives me. See, so now I have it on, not triplet. Oh, I actually have it. I'm gonna slur my words here. On double and triplet, so that I can try to hit the snare like right on point, right there. Now it hits up. It hits it perfectly.
Baby.
just kind of trying to match the hit of that. What up, Sid? How you doing, dog?
Baby.
Back at it, bro. Absolutely.
Yeah. Baby. Yeah.
Then I can add the kick here. Oh shit. So this is a good example of like having to use like these like triplet areas to really fine tune like where this kick lands so it doesn't sound like offbeat. And I totally fucked up saying what you said. I meant to say what up said. And I hope I don't butcher it, but what up? Is it Tanaya or Tanaya? I know I might butcher that, so my apologies on that. But thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Again, if you're just joining, I am DJ Gonz. I'm from Houston, Texas. Just kind of working on answering questions, kind of working on beats, trying to, kind of answer questions that can fit in the beat to make more sense so that when you create, you're not getting like completely pissed off because you're like, dude, I don't have any Grammys yet. But it doesn't matter because we're here to have fun and make cool shit. And if you're having struggles, it's all good. Hopefully I can help you out just to keep it moving from there.
Baby. Yeah.
So here it kicked there. So last call. This is a good example of like me like really trying to adjust the drum kit to the sample because it's definitely like not landing like perfectly. So I'm having to like really finagle how these kick and snares land. So that's a little off. Let me adjust that. So again, it's like all trial and error. So I should go boom, boom, doom, boom, 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 and put a kick right there. Boom,
Baby.
Move it over a little bit right there.
Baby.
Boom. I think it's right there.
Baby. Yeah.
I know the grid might be off just a little bit on that.
Baby. Yeah.
So now I was trying to add a hi-hat. I know if I add just a hi-hat just straight in, it's probably going to sound like dog shit. Yeah, I knew it was going to be like that. So we're definitely having to like manually punch this in. So like,
Baby. Yeah.
and I accidentally deleted all my kick drums. There we go. I meant to clear just this row is what I meant to do on that, and that definitely didn't happen from there. Please go back to the keyboard cam real quick. So my hi-hat is on pad 3, like right here. So I'm just going to try to just mess with it.
Baby. Yeah.
Now, the important thing is I'm going to have to make sure I take quantize off because I already know the minute I record, it's going to be right on the grid, and it's not going to sound right. I can already tell. Let me just try to punch it in.
Baby, yeah.
So as you can tell, some of these are like they're not on the grid exactly, but it fits with the sample. That's the key. As long as if the groove fits right. So don't confuse having to be on the grid as some type of certification that everything's going to sound good. Do not put it in that reference, because if you do, you're going to get yourself very frustrated when it doesn't sound right. You're like, hey, but everything's on the grid. How come it's not sounding right? Think about it. Like, this sample was constructed around the 80s, 70s. They recorded it on analog tape. It wasn't digital. It was a drummer, like, drumming shit. It was an instrument player playing shit. So they're going to have, like, little nuances of not exactly being on beat, which gives it the natural feel. Going back to, why do my beats sound so robotic? But I'm going to lower the volume of the hi-hat. It's, like, too loud.
Baby, yeah. Baby, yeah.
Okay, so that sounds pretty good. So let's go back to the screen here. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. I want to add a different kick. I don't like that kick in there. Add that kick. And then a different snare. Because that sounds like 909 snare. I don't feel like having a 909 snare on that right now. I kind of like that.
Baby, yeah.
So now we'll create another sequence and then pick another section here.
Baby, I get it from you. Baby, 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 get it.
I'm trying to do it where, like, there's no vocal in there, just to, like, challenge myself.
Baby,
It's like you.
baby, baby.
Could try to be. Good question. So, what's the difference between an 808 and a 909? What the difference is just the different machine that it is. So, now I'm going to make myself feel old as shit. So, actually, what an 808 is, it's not just the boom that you hear. It actually comes from, we're going to actually go into, and I'm going to do this really stupid, but it's okay. We are going to go into this educational lesson just now. So, what an 808 is this drum machine constructed from Roland. So these were built-in sounds from this machine. So there was an 808 that Roland created. They also created a 909, which looked like this. If it'll load up, there we go. A 909. So anytime you hear like an 808, like, let me see if I can load an 808 drum sound here. This was like the stock sound that was built into that actual machine, which was that. But then people would go and like modulate it and add a bunch of crazy effects to it. But that like boom rumble is from the 808 drum machine. Then they created a 909 drum machine. So people will usually frame the 808 machine as the like hip hop creator, and then the 909 was the one that would be like techno and house, would kind of use those sounds from there. Let's see if I actually have like a 909 sample. I know I do. I should have that on there. 909. That was the kick, yeah. That was the kick from 909. Was that from there? Let me see if I can load it up on here too. 909. Yeah, these were like the 909. Like these were built-in sounds on that sampler, and people love them so much that they, use them. And they can like pitch it down. Like rim shots. That was the ride. That was like that. The infamous boots and hats. That's what that is from there. Hopefully that answered that question. So basically the difference is just the sounds that were put into those specific machines that Roland released in the like early 80s, mid 90s. If someone wants to correct me in the chat. Yeah, so if you didn't, weren't born in that era or didn't know about it, I would definitely see where the confusion can be. But that's what the difference is. So 808 was like a specific machine that Roland put out, and then they put out a 909. Then you had specific sounds from the 808. Typically, it was that boom sound that you would hear, and then 909 was the kind of like house sounds that people would use for that in particular. But very, very good question. You guys are killing it on the questions. Yeah, no, you're good, bro. You're good. You're good. I'm going to try to build another sequence here. So I'm trying to find another area of the sample.
Baby, I get it from you.
Trying to see what else is going on here. Shit, I don't want to hear that. Oh, let me delete that. That would help too.
Baby, baby, I get it from you, darling. Oh yes, I do.
See what else is going on here.
I want you to know I get a thrill, baby. Oh, whenever you're here. All you got to do is call my name, baby. Just let. Oh, you. Just let me know, baby. Just let me know you're here, and
So I'm just trying to like listen to areas of this sample.
I'll get my groove.
Trying to get ideas in my head of what could possibly work. Trying to see what could possibly happen.
Baby, you know how to move me groove. Now some people get a baby, ooh, baby. Baby.
I found a little loop there.
From watching from watching
6. Okay, then go back to that. I'll do that double there. That out there. Okay. That little tambourine in there to see how I can build something from there. It's probably like, all right, bro, we got a loop. What's going on? Let me go into keyboard mode. Go hit record and record it in there. Oh shit, forgot to add another section of that. Okay. Yeah, this part. There we go. Got a little something there. And we do a different like hi-hat on there. Got a little reverb. It's like a little too dry on that. Give this like a stock reverb. Record that hi-hat real quick. Keyboard cam, baby. I might add like a snare to that. Right that there, and just layer it. It actually lands a little bit after that. Add a little like bass to that. And I think we got ourselves like something to work with, baby. Yeah. So if you ever get stuck on bass lines where you're like, shit, I don't know what to do, you can always just kind of follow along with the low tones of the sample. So what I'm listening to, there's actually like a little bit of bass in the sample itself, and I'm kind of following that. So it's going doom, doom. And I'm not a keyboard player by no means, so I'm just trying to follow what I think it sounds close to. So like this doesn't sound right. I'm going boom, boom, boom. Okay, I think I'm close. I think that's right there. No, it's actually one more note. Doom, doom, doom. That sounds off. Doom. That kind of matches. I'm going boom, doo, doo. If you ever get stuck, go up like high octaves. That sounds relatively good, then bring your octave down and then see if it sounds good. I think I found the rhythm there. Oh shit, hold on. Kind of build a bass line with that. Boom, 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 boom. Oh shit! Put that in there. Putting a sidechain in there. Yeah, no problem. I'm glad I could help. Young y'all, where you from, man? That means a lot, man. I appreciate the support. Yeah, no, man. Just trying to just help anybody out because I know it can get like flustering and people can get pissed and they're like, dude, I want to throw my production software, and my computer out the window, and I feel you on that pain, bro. It's good. You're like, I hate this shit, son. Brooklyn, what's up? That's what's up, man. Thanks for checking out the stream, bro. How long have you been using Studio? Or if you just got it, like, just let me know. Oh, you got me on like East Coast shit. Okay, hold on. Let me see. So now I can add like acapella. I kind of have like the kind of meat and potatoes of it, but I want to see what I can like come up with on that. So we have that. Let me see what I can do. Let's see what I can add into this thing over here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'll add top billing. Can't ever go wrong with top billing. So I'm adding an acapella in there, which is something that you can do. Just bring in the file, and then I'm just trying to find what I think it could possibly work. Perfect. Go Brooklyn. There we go. Go Brooklyn. I'm gonna add a little echo to that, and then with it's a little low on the volume, so I'm gonna bring the gain up of that specific sample. Like 6 months. Okay, bet. Let me know if you run into any issues or anything like that. Yeah, man, that's always like the constant like producer struggle is the completion of stuff and finally putting like a bow on the end of the gift. Is like knowing like when you're done with the beat. Like that's still to this day a struggle of mine of just knowing like when am I done. So like my producers like in the chat and just the homies on there, um, how do you know when a song is done? I'm gonna throw that out there. For me, it's where once I play it and I've felt like my transitions were where they needed to be, and I'm like, okay, this has like a continual groove that I think I can mess with. Um, I tend to just feel like that's the end. Some will have the struggles of like once they release it, they're like, oh, I could have added a bunch of shit to it, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like, oh yeah, I think I'm done with it. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see here. Brooklyn. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. And just add that to that. We got Brooklyn in this bitch. Very true. Silence. Very, very true. I am the same way. Instead of me saying that's it, I'm like, fuck it. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. Give me some champagne. I'm done with this damn thing. I'm good. I'm satisfied. That's it. Like I'll have like the inner man, so young bro, like man, that just made my day. So I'm just gonna kind of repeat what he said. I appreciate your videos. I check them out because you seem to be the only one that explains what to actually do if you're not versed in music theory. Yes, Brown Joe, I can definitely do that. Yeah. So, fun fact: I am not a piano player at all. Another fun fact: I played clarinet in high school. I was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna, toot my own horn. I was pretty good. I was always like battling like first chair, second chair, high school band shit. But as far as like just being like a full-fledged piano player, I'm not. But you will know if something sounds like complete shit. You will definitely know that you don't need a degree in that. So the perfect example for me to explain that is you don't have to have a degree in music theory, but you can tell if two people are singing one after the other on a stage, who sounds better than the other. Typically because they'll probably sing in key, and the other one might not have the same type of like cadence or like rhythm to the song. So it's definitely a lot of like just kind of guessing basically until it sounds good for me. Now the bass, I'll go to bass, Jewel, no problem. So I'm using the Jazzy Jeff live bass, and I'll solo it. This is the keys that I put on there. So let me solo this. Hopefully you can hear that, Jewel. Now, say I wanted to layer that with a more high-pitched sound. Like, say I'm like, hey, maybe I want to add a piano that copies that. So I'm going to add a duplicate of that. Go to piano and drag this into here. So now I have a piano. So say I solo this, you can hear the piano. So now you can hear that. It's like kind of gutta. That's a good question, Jewel. So she asked, I just had a question in keys in general. I want to move the octaves up and down. Yeah, so that is a good question because I'm trying to figure that out myself. Let me see. I think when I had asked them, okay, so I'm gonna highlight them all. I don't know if it's shift up. No, it's not shift up. Maybe control up, not control up. Control. No, nope, doesn't do that. Nope, wrong move. Doesn't do that. Damn it. Let me take that off. It's not that either. Okay, damn it. Let me see what it is. I'm trying to figure that. I'm trying to remember what I actually had a little. Let me see. Oh, question. Will you ever do a stream where you listen to beats made by people in chat? Yeah, I can. So you can send you can send beats. I'll give you my email. Now you can do that. So I do want to put some preface on there. Whatever I do say as far as feedback, do not have it where it feels like it's the Bible of what I say. Everyone is biased with certain things. What I don't want to do is like I say something and then you're like, dude, all right, I appreciate the feedback, and then you get flustered. Remember, it's just my opinion on certain things, which would come to my other point. If you want to keep progressing, like beat-wise, keep this in your head. I know, I just kind of put that in there. I'm about to go like super like on a soapbox kind of shit. I'm not trying to, but about to bring it in. Real quick. Okay, some people are going to say your beats fucking suck. Just have that in your head. Because I have it in my head. We're like, hey, Gonz, I hate your fucking beats. But in the same token, you're going to have people that are really going to love your beats and like them. Just know that is the beauty of it. It's subjective. You know? Like my point to someone would be like, hey, do you like death metal? No. Why? It doesn't resonate with me. But someone else, they might love death metal music. And that's their shit. That's their, upbringing. It might be something that they saw in an anime. It's something internally that resonates with them. Just like people that hate trap music. It's one of those where it's just you might not be in that culture. You might not live that life. So it might not be for you. So to that point, it's where you have to just think about someone's going to really hate your shit, but other people are going to really love your stuff. You just got to be happy enough to just know that you're creating something that if you feel in here, I'm going super soapbox on this. But I don't care. I'm trying to level up on this soapbox shit. It's just a matter of like, do you enjoy making what you make? And certain people are going to gravitate towards it. Some people aren't. It's just life. That's just like a life thing. So questions to that. In terms of a non-producer that love my beats, but if I take them to a producer, they're going to make some adjustments to it. So to your question, if you're working with an artist, for example, appreciate your silence, man. Thank you. So to Polguita's question, if you're working with an artist, just know, and a word of advice is, don't go where when you complete the beat that you feel like it's 100% complete when you send it to somebody, because you have to keep in mind they're the other half of the song. And if you have, so this was my worst kind of issue I had when I first started. I would make shit like just stack a bunch of stuff everywhere, add a bunch of shit on top of shit. you know, and it was like I didn't care. I just wanted to keep adding stuff and adding stuff just to kind of impress like other producers. But when I would give it to my homies to try to rap on it, she'd be like, dude, there's too much shit on here. I can't do anything with it. And then you had this like weird like mental like breakdown in your head because you're like, dude, I spent like a week doing this shit. And you're like, no, I don't like any of this. So now you run into this crazy dichotomy of like, well, damn, how much is too much and how less is too less kind of situation. So again, it's like subject to whoever you're working with. So that's where you have to start keeping mental notes or even just write in a notebook, like certain things that a certain artist likes. We're like, oh, this artist likes when I carve out this much sound to a particular thing, or I leave them this much room, or they like these drum fills at this time because it lets them know like, hey, I can really bring in this specific punchline at this time. Or they're like, hey, I like intros that usually start with like just 4 hits of just boom, 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 ba-da-da-doo, and then they start rapping. You start kind of knowing like what artists that you want to work with, their particular style. So just know that if you're going to send anything to anybody, think in your head it's 80% done or even 50% done. It's not 100% done. Because if not, your ego is going to hit you, and then that's when you're going to run into trouble. And that's what you don't want to do. Because what you don't want to do is like someone says, hey, well, it's cool, but I don't like this particular thing. And then you start getting heated, and you're like, nope, not going to hear that. Nope, I don't want to hear that criticism. Nope, I don't want to hear that. And then you butt heads and you don't work with anybody. If that's your goal, is that. But if that's not the case, you just create, complete your song, and go from there. Another word of advice, if you're trying to work with someone, it's going to have vocals, take a acapella of something and put it over your track. Then you'll know if parts of your track are too busy and you need to take things out so that vocal shines, because they're a part of the play. And sometimes they're a part of the center stage. So you got to let things breathe, give things room, let the vocals shine. So that means you got to take things away. But maybe during the breakdown, that's when your instrumentation shines more. Then you take that back away when the vocals come back in. So take it into that consideration. I know I went way over there, but hopefully that kind of helped out as far as like a frame of mind that you can take in regards to like working with an artist, or just kind of knowing when you need to pull things away or adjust for the track. Yeah. And also, to David's point, because he says it has happened to him, and he had like a best part that he really liked, and the artist didn't like it. What you could do is make 2 versions of it. Make a version with a vocalist, and then make just like an instrumental that's a little bit different. So now you kind of have the best of both worlds. You have a vocal version and you have an instrumental version of it as well. So you can do that too with that. Man, y'all are killing it today. Damn it. Hi. Super killing it today. Thank you guys so much. It's awesome. Yeah, no, all good, bro. Yeah, thanks, last call. Yeah, no, handle your biz, man. I know he's got an EP coming out. I can't wait to hear that finished project, man. It's awesome. Yeah, and it's tough because I guess sometimes you have this feeling that you have to work with an artist. You don't have to. You can make songs that are completely done without a vocalist. Case in point, this right here. So you can take vocal samples, say from like Splice, and build a hook from it. So let me try to find like a vocal, like a girl vocal or something.
Yeah. Bass. I'm going
on the top.
Okay. Back. It.
I'm gonna find something. something.
Can you hear me?
Put that in there and see what happens. Let's see. Put it right here. Oops. Damn it. Right here. Adjust it just a little bit. I don't like that. Damn it. Too late. Trying to zoom in a little bit more. That's like too. Trying to. Oh, I don't want just a velocity. I just want to move it. Move it here. Oops. Dun, 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 dun. Can you hear me? Anybody? So for something like this, since the timing's a little off, I have to trigger it how I need to. Can you hear me? Oops. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Damn it. Can you hear me? Anybody? So let me go back to the chat real quick. I'm gonna try to put less things on my beats so that people can start singing on them, but of course I'm doing something for myself and for no. So yeah, so to that point, so what I don't want to get people confused is you feel like what I don't want people to run into is you're making tracks and then you get pissed off because you're like, damn, there's a lot of shit in here, and then I gotta take stuff out because I'm gonna have an artist on there. If you don't feel like you have an artist on that it's going to be on there, then just make the track. Just get it done. And then another version could be that you take these other elements out. What you don't want to do is deprive yourself or leave things out that in your gut you feel are good. Keep it all in there. You know, I've put out songs that didn't have an artist on there. And then people would use them for like makeup videos or whatever. But they liked what I created from it. But genuinely is what I liked anyways. So the advice would be make what in your... I don't feel like fucking Captain Planet right now. Do it what feels in your soul. If you feel like you want to add those elements because... when you're vibing out, it feels great, then do it, you know? Because you can always just make another version of it that doesn't have any of those things, and it's version number 2 for the artist. Like, it doesn't matter. The first thing is just making sure that you're happy with it. That's the first thing. Because what you don't want to do is start running into tracks that you're not happy with, that you just want to put out because you're like, well, I think this one will work for the artist because they said they didn't want any of this. So now you're kind of like clocking into the factory, the beat factory. And I guess after a while, you're not going to enjoy doing that. So, good question. Somewhere else asks, what kind of file type do you prefer once I have something sent to you? MP3, number 1. MP3 is the best version to send to me. So, for example, say I was going to complete this right here. I would go to, say, master... go here, master, export song, take away wave, go to MP3, and export that. Reason being is WAV files are much bigger, and Gmail, when you send something through there, it's probably going to send a Google link, and nothing's more annoying than getting a Google link to download an MP3, or downloading a WAV file that you could easily send an MP3 to. So yeah, so I'll put it in the chat, MP3. It's not to dog anybody on it. It's just to listen to, just send an MP3. That would be key. Ideal is to do that. You know, but to your point, David, man, I'm going to stress this every time. Just If you feel it in your gut, fucking go for it, dude. Just do what you like. Do what you like. And again, put it in your head. Gonz, some people hate your fucking beats. In the same token, Gonz, I like your shit. Once you have that, it's going to feel so liberating to do. Because now you're not worried about pleasing everybody, because you're not going to please everybody. Once you have that, you're good. You're good. You won't be stressed out anymore on that. Because I know, you know, a billion, I can say with a lot of confidence, yes, I can say with a lot of confidence, a billion people don't like my shit. And it's okay, because I have a select few that do, and that's okay. I'm good with that. I'm happy with that. You know, but in the end, I like all the shit I make. You know, there might be somewhere I'm like, oh, I go 5 years back. I'm like, oh, I could have adjusted this and this. But even in that time frame, like when I was making it, I was having fun with it. That's all that matters. Oh, okay. Quite good question. Oh, shit. Okay. Do you think you can order yourself singing on a beat and seeing how you can clean it up and add it to the beat? Okay. That sounds like a challenge, bro. Okay, let me save this one real quick. I'm going to call this Brooklyn for my Brooklyn homie, and I will try to make something here. So let's see. Brooklyn Hop. I'll call it Brooklyn Hop. Brooklyn Hop. There we go. Okay. So let me come up with something. Man, y'all been putting me on the spot today, bro. What the fuck? It's like challenging me today. But I like it. Okay. So let's see here. Let me build something really, really fast so you're not like waiting the whole damn time for me. Okay, I'll add that on top too. I know I'm getting a little fancier right now with it, but it's all good. And that cue was off. So let me add something else to it there. Add that on there too. So let's go here. That sounds like dog shit. And by all means, I am the shittiest singer on the planet, so don't judge me. Or you can. I don't give a shit. It's all good. Oh, very, very good question, Silence. Very. He asked, how do you name your beats? So what I've been trying to do so that I don't get confused is I'll name it whatever the main sample that I'm using. I'll call it that, and then whatever style it is. So say we end up creating some with this, since it's kind of like the meat and potatoes, like melody wise of what it is. I'll call it Lex SL74 singing like shit beat, and I'll know what that is from there. Yeah, no, I feel you. I used to try to be creative too, but then I send it to an artist and they're like, hey, you know, your song called potassium grade bromide down to the mountain coast. I just want to call it dim sum. I'm like, shit, okay. So yeah, I started calling it so that if I had to recall what the project was, I can immediately open it. And also if I was using like TrackLib, I would like name the sample so that I can go back and clear it quickly. And I know exactly what it was. Because if not, I'm like, shit, what was the name of that beat? And I would forget. So I'll typically name it like what the main meat and potatoes sample is, and then whatever style it is. So like the one before was like something something Brooklyn, but then now I'll know like, oh, okay, it's kind of like hip hop Brooklyn-esque. With that, that's usually like my go-to is what I do for that. Yes, I've run into that so many times, where I'll bounce it down and it's a completely different name, to where I'm like, shit, what the hell was my session? Ended up being something completely different. I would spend hours and hours trying to figure out like what was the song, and I'm going through constant Serato projects until like it was like, oh, I can't figure it out. Oh, damn it. So David asked, could I put auto tune to the vocals? You can. I actually have not downloaded the auto tune plugin from Antares. I think that's the way you would describe it. Yeah. So what I would do, because what'll happen if you name it the main sample, at least you'll know what the main ingredient is. And usually once you know what that main ingredient is, it'll more times than not lead you to that project. So I tend to do that. And then we'll say I go into like a mixing session, or if I'm going to actually mix down to complete it, then I'll start naming it. Where I might name it the same sample and call it, like mixed down version. And then the name of what we think the song is called. And then once that's done, then I'll name it whatever the actual album release version of the song is. That sounds kind of ass backwards, but just so that at least you have some kind of connection of the chain from your original project to the end result from there. So let's see what kind of horseshit stuff I can come up with. Just fucking around, trying to come up with words to say, trying to figure it out. If you know, I might just do like little vocal ad-libs over there. That's a good one too. They says usually we'll combine the two names of the sample that I used or plugin. Yeah. Whatever reminds you of whatever that project is, go for it and call it that for sure. If you don't So let me do that really horseshit ad lib. Again, I'm not a singer at all, but fuck it, I'll figure out how to do it because you asked, and I'll make a complete ass of myself, which is totally fine for the purpose of you learning. That's the goal. The more you know. Dum 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 dum. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Ba-dum, da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum. So I got that shitty vocal. So let's go back. Go to audio samples. It's going to go to the recordings tab. And it should pull up. I'm going to go by date because I know sometimes it won't do it correctly on that end. Shit, I did not put it on the date. Let's see, what's the newest added? Oh, added. That's what it was. Okay. Nope. Right here. Bottom. There we go. There we go.
Bottom, da-dum.
What it'll do, it'll try to sync up the sample or what I just did to the key, so like it shifted up +6. It's gonna be a little crazy.
Bottom, da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum.
That's different. I sound like I'm in Munchkin Land on that.
Bottom, da-dum,
So I'm a little off.
bottom,
Let me adjust the start point just a little bit.
bottom, bottom.
So this is where processing comes really into play. So I'm actually going to use this plugin Nectar 3. Hopefully it doesn't behave in a jerk way, meaning like it won't run correctly. So let me just add it into here. Man, this is VST. And then does a new record? Oh, hold on. Let me answer your question. Does a new recording file save all your live recordings of Serato? Yeah. So by default, it's gonna place it here. So what I tend to do is like I'll record here, delete it here, go to library, and then from library go to audio samples. By default, it's gonna create a recordings. Oh shit, you can't see that. Let me make this easier for you. My apologies, sir. So by default, it's gonna go to audio samples, and you're gonna have a folder called recordings. Then you're gonna go to you're gonna find it. Now by default, it's gonna be called recording audio, which is probably gonna trip you up. So what I always recommend is go to the added tab, and then of course I have this blocked out. Didn't mean to do that. So let's switch it over here. The added tab, where when I click on it, you can adjust from newest to oldest or oldest to newest recordings. So click on here. So I'm going to scroll down, and that was the newest recording, 128.22 at 8:50. And there's your recording. But then what I would do is like relabel or rename the recording. Let's call it Gonz shitty vocal. There we go. So now I know that's that right there. Before I bring it in, because right now it's gonna like have this name on here. I'm gonna just rename that. The shitty vocal. And there you go. So now I'm gonna process this here. I'm using this Nectar 3 that I'm using from Splice. I did like a rental program until I was able to pay for it all. So I'm just gonna do it like a preset. Let's go with an EDM one, and it'll kind of really shape how that sounds. Good question. So you asked, David asked, why did you decide to put the vocal in a new deck instead of leaving it in the scene as an audio file? Reason being is because I can actually manipulate that audio a lot more without it being in here. Like I could click on here and do the scenes here, but I don't feel like I have as much freedom as having it as a sample deck here, where I can really adjust each one. For example, say I wanted to have like being able to like just manipulate this by itself. Like I say I just wanted to turn this into like a key here. I just have more freedom to mess with each like sound how I want to. Like I can really sound design it a little bit better than if I have it in the audio deck. I can't really adjust what I want trigger wise because all I'm doing is creating all these little edit points here. I would rather for myself, and it could just be personal preference that I want it to be like that. But I tend to feel like if I have it in the sample editor, I can control, I can manipulate it a bit better with that. So if this is more like a, it almost sounds like a bow, bow, bow. Like I could go house with that shit if I wanted to, actually. Why the hell not? Why the hell not? That's some tech house shit. Well, let me clear everything else out. Not just getting stupid. So if I really wanted to be dumb, well, I can just start adding more stupid shit on top of that. But that's okay. We're just having fun here, just kind of putting shit together. Freak it, why not? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, question. Okay. Morales says, do you know why some instruments don't make a sound after putting them on a deck? Yes. So depending on if you're applying so here's a couple things. It depends on what you're dragging into what. And you're probably like, what the hell is he talking about? So if you're saying instrument, are you referring to, let me go back to my main screen so you can see everything better. If you have an instrument and you bring it in, say I bring in a piano, I can trigger it, like that's an instrument. If I don't do that, let's see. If I bring just a sample in, for example, if I bring an A sound, if I bring an A sound in, I'm only going to hear that. But I got to make sure that I have it on like one shot mode to hear it all the way through. For example, let me just go to a Serato pack. Let me add, let's say I added that into it. So we have this here. I know my homies are back there behind me. It's all good. Like I had to hold that down on my keyboard to play the whole thing. But if I have it on one shot mode and I hit it one time, it'll keep going if I just hit it one time. I hope that answered your question on that. Hopefully I did. Is that what you're running into, Morales? Okay, you dragged in a big grand piano instrument. Now, was it the grand? Okay, let me see here. Is it big grand piano from Serato? I'm gonna bring that in. So I brought that in. I just dragged it and put it into the empty space over here. Now, what you have to make sure you do is when you highlight, you have to make sure you highlight it. And whether you're using, like for me, I'm using a keyboard, like a piano keyboard. But I mean, technically, you don't have to. I don't know why my camera did that really slow. Like using that. Like it's letting me trigger that on there, but also I can do it on my keyboard. Like my typing keyboard. You just have to make sure. Are you using a MIDI controller at all, or are you just using like your keyboard? So let me see. I don't know why the chat is being a little weird. So how does having a MIDI keyboard help you out? Just because I guess it's a more natural feel because you're using, a piano type layout for it. As opposed to having like a keyboard. But you don't have to. I mean, you can literally just paint in the keys and the melodies, and you can do it like that too. That's another way. Yeah, I mean, you could use your computer keyboard is fine, or just build like shit. For example, I'm not gonna use any keyboard at all. I'm just gonna like make notes and just make melodies here. Let me solve this. Let's do this. And I'm just kind of dragging them, kind of make them shorter or smaller. I just built that like not even. Let me delete this other one here. Without using any keyboard, I just painted them in. So now I just add a drum loop to it. Yeah, so I have the playing key activated just so that it'll stay in key with like my master key here, but you can always turn it off. It'll just adjust the layout of the keys so it's supposed to be like if you were actually on like a real piano from there. So let me see here. Okay, it also just didn't feel natural because I use a notepad to do my melodies. Any tips you could give me? As long as it sounds good to you, that would be my best advice. If you're having issues like trying to play something on the piano, no, man, not at all, bro. Oh, okay. Nah, man, don't feel embarrassed at all. So young ass kind of as far as a beat grid sync, instead of using the pre-programmed hip hop kit, what's the best way to understand? Okay, I'm glad you told me that. Good idea. I'll go into that real quick before I'll call it a night here. I also think too, like, you might start off with this, and then all you have to really do is just duplicate and just start adding layers. That sounded loud as fuck. Sorry. So like with this one, that's too high an octave. So I'm just I highlighted all of those, and I'm gonna drag this down. And then I'm gonna duplicate that. I'm gonna bring it down another octave. I'm trying to remember the shortcut key. They told me when I talked to one of the guys about it. I'm gonna put a bass on there right here. We can add another bass. Oh, I'm gonna make a copy of this, duplicate it. I'm gonna highlight all these and go down another octave to this F here. Ah, gotcha. So then I just add a 4/4 kick. So I just layer like 5 instruments together. And then if I decide, I can sidechain all of them. So we go here, sidechain that to the kick. Same thing here. Oh shit. Same thing here. Put that there, like that. Do it to the other one right here. Let's go down the list. Some people are like, oh, do I have to do that to everything? Right now, yes, because they don't have send and return tracks just yet. So sidechain that to there. And then do this here. Same thing. Bro, that's how I started too. I just tried a bunch of shit. But eventually, man, I would just even do like basic beginner keyboard lessons on YouTube. Definitely do YouTube University for that. I'm still trying to do that myself. You can build something shitty like that. There you go. To your point on, I'll start something new. So, discard, yes. So to your question in regards to creating your own drum sounds, perfect example. I'm just gonna find a drum loop. And there's some drum loops that I've gotten from like Splice. I'll put it in the chat. The MPK Mini, bro. Like this one right here, the one that I use. This one right here that I'm using. It's perfect. I mean, it's like $100. It works solid. It's called the Akai MPK Mini. They sell them everywhere. I bet you could probably find it in a pawn shop for like $40. So I would definitely recommend that. And then as far as like drum sounds, like Splice is really dope for that. So I'm just gonna find a simple. Let me find something simple. Okay, we'll go fucking reggaeton. Go back. Let me go down to like 93. So what I'll do is, well, let me ask you, Morales, is it a more of a, no, not Morales, my bad. Damn it, trying to forget. Young, like what type of drums are you trying to do? So for example, if I'm going to try to like imitate this one here, let me put it in here first. By default, it's going to create it as a waveform with the colors here. The red represents the low frequencies. So what I do is I can see this now. So now I can paint in. Doom. That's a snare right here. Doom. There. Snare there. Kick. Snare. Kick. Snare. Kick. Snare. Kick. Snare. Kick. Snare. And then this is the hi-hat right here. I'm gonna put hi-hat here. There. And there. So now if I mute this, I just made that drum pattern right there. So then what I can do because I know Serato has like a Moombahton, reggaeton kind of kit. So I downloaded it before. You go to reggaeton here. That's their reggaeton kit. I'm going to go to, on the drum section, my bad. You go to reggaeton here. Go to their drum kits near the bottom, right here. Let me go to the bigger screen so you can see that better. Okay. Sounding too crowded might be you're adding too many hi-hats in it. I would definitely have to see like how you're doing your drum programming, but this is how I'm copying how a drum loop sounds. This is the drum loop. You can't hear the drum that I just did. So I just basically painted in what that was, and that's what I created from there. But I wanted to sound, I guess, more reggaeton drum sounds themselves. I'm just going to drag in a kit. Boom, right there. So I know a problem that some people run into is they'll do a loop and they'll have that where like low end is too busy. So like with the loop itself, I would turn down the lows so that you have more of your kick here. And then if you want this to feel like it's a bit louder, you could do a limiter, or you can just do what they call a compressor and do the parallel compressor and adjust how much loudness you want of that drum. So say I add it to a sample, I'll do the cumbia sample kit here. So that accordion might be a little bit too loud over this. So you can have two ways. You can either sidechain it to the kick like this and adjust how much of the kick is going to drown out the sample. Oh man, no problem. No problem, bro. No problem at all. So if I turn the side chain down all the way, the other way, it might be a little bit louder. So I could do side chain, or I can just adjust the volume. So say this cumbia is too loud, just bring this down a little bit. So your question, David, on the vocals is it's depending on what kind of effect you want. Typically, if you're going to do any processing on the vocals, you definitely want to do an EQ. Besides the EQ that you have, here, which would be, say, it would be EQ. Oh, no, it would be on the mastering, the tone. It's like the louder, brightener, or tone EQ. One of these three would be that. If you want to add a little reverb to the vocal, that'd be the other thing as well. And compressor. Those would be like the three. If you were going to do it all in studio, those would be the three that I would recommend that you mess with to get the right vocal that you want it to sound. Ultimately, it's dependent on how you want it to sound. I mean, you could sound like it's like in a teeny tiny radio if that's the effect that you're going for. Like, for example, like this cumbia vocal. They added a shitload of reverb to that thing. Just like stock. Like right now, that vocal is super loud over this whole mix. Brightener EQ, like if you turn it to the, you know what, let me just add it to here so you can see what's happening. So if I go mastering, EQ, I'm going to solo this. If I turn it up more, what it's doing is it's adding more volume to the highs over here. Let me delete that from there. If I turn it down, which is too slow. Cumbia, just letting you know what is going down. What's going down? So right now I'm just trying to adjust and balance out every sound. So nothing is like battling with each other. That's always a challenge when you're trying to like start adding layers, is that in specific. So if you want to make this a little interesting, or you're like wanting to hear more of this, you could make the same copy of that and then pitch this up 12. Do another copy, and then pitch it down all the way -12. So now you have a layer of that sound. Pan one to the left. Pan the high pitch one to the right. Now you have a fuller accordion. Didn't think I was going to say that today. Then add your bass on top of that from there. But Brightener EQ, it brightens up the EQ by like pushing more of the mid and high frequencies of that specific sound. That's what that means. You can get more intricate if you use other plugins. I tend to use the, let me see here. Is it possible to take out some of the reverb of that original sound with some sort? No. So that's the original sample. So if you have reverb recorded into the sample, you can't take that out. Because if you do end up taking it out, like if you're carving out EQs, it's going to chop up the sound more, and it's not going to sound right from there. So what you could do is have yourself saying the word cumbia. So for example, I think this was a whole trick just for me to say cumbia myself. I think that's what you did. I think that's what you did. So let me do that real quick before we wrap it up here. Okay, so make a copy of this, duplicate it there. There we go. And then okay, so I'm gonna record this. Cumbia. Wow, that was interesting. Okay. So there's no reverb now, but I could add reverb to that. So I'm going to use the vintage verb, add that on there, which looks like this. Right now, I have no reverb applied to it. And I'm going to add it into it. that's how you would add reverb, but I could have it where like I don't want that much. So like I'm back to like no reverb happening and then having some reverb, like some reverb. I hope that answered that question for you. And with that, that reverb in particular, let me just put it in the, it's Valhalla, and I keep misspelling the damn thing. Valhalla VST. There we go. Valhalla plugins, because I'm not going to hide anything from you guys, because why would I? I'm not going to do that to you. So they actually have like free. Okay, good question, because I know someone was going to ask me that. So they do have some that are free. But that one that I just used was $50. And it's probably like the best $50 I spent as far as for like a reverb. Like it works. I use it all the time. I'm gonna put this in the chat so at least you can have it on there. Paste that there. Boom. They do have free ones though. So if I go to plugins here, and it's gonna tell you here also, like these are like free, which I would grab, like I would get and mess with them. Like this Supermassive, you can actually get good reverb sounds with it as well. So like try them out. Like they're all those three are free, so like go for it. Like as far as like those plugins, and then the other one I use is OTT from Xfer. It's like a compressor that I use a lot for stuff. That one is free. Products. Home. Like that one is, they normally have it for free. I don't know where it went. Where did it go? They have Elefold tool, which you could try out. Why don't they have OTT Xfer? Oh, I guess you can get it from Splice as well. And that one's free. That's a free one that you can use. It's a really good compressor. I don't know why it's taking forever to load, but it is what it is. Trying to think what else here. Yeah, it looks like that. You can download it for free. I think that's, yeah, you can use those three. Should be good from there. Oh, okay. So when you download it, once you double click, make sure that you go to plugins on all and then look for it there. Like if you didn't do that, then go to the settings, go to plugins, your plugins folder, and rescan everything and see if it shows up from there. Yeah, I would have to see like how you downloaded it to make that happen from there. So I think that's my time today. First off, I don't know why I went to that screen. That was stupid. I want to thank all of you that joined today and on the past ones too. All the questions you guys ask, like I'm telling you, man, it really does help me out as far as like trying to help all of you, like continually trying to get better and trying to learn the program more and more. Let me see. Yeah, David, I'd have to look to see like what's the error that you're getting from that. It might be a security setting. I'm not too sure. Yeah, if anything, I would try to do a screenshot and then send it actually to Xfer to see if it would do it. That would be my best advice, is actually screenshot the error that they give you and then send it over to them to see what they would recommend for that. But with that, again, this is going to be more like tech support and computer like nerding out more than anything. But I'm glad you guys were able to tune in today. I know I didn't really make too much stuff, but that's okay. it was more or less just trying to help everybody out with some questions, just having fun in here. Like that's the main thing. Like I just enjoy creating, enjoying answering questions. Yeah, no problem, man. Again, I guess on some shameless promo, I might as well just put this all in the chat here. If you want to listen to some past beats of mine, or like albums I put out, I put my Spotify up on the chat. I'll put my group's hip hop album the next time out. But yeah, no, I appreciate the questions. Like, yeah, no questions stupid. Like, feel free to ask whatever. 'Cause that's usually how I do it. I've asked dumbass questions in the past that I felt were dumb, but they helped me. So I kind of try to pay it forward with that. If you want to send beats, you can. I don't mind. Just don't take my criticism like I'm the shit, because I'm not. I'll just kind of give you what I think might work. I could be wrong. I could be wrong with the advice I tell you. So what I don't want to do is, like, I send it, I give you feedback, and you're like, hey, Gonz, go fuck yourself. Which, if you feel like that, I mean, it is what it is. But I won't give you feedback in the sense of, like, just me hating on it to hate on it. I will give you constructive criticism. I would say a big goal to learn for new producers is learning how to take criticisms and not getting pissed off, because it can be frustrating because you're trying to make your beats and you spent 10 hours that day trying to make it, and then someone in 5 seconds told you that it sucks. So I can understand where that frustration can come from. If they don't give you anything constructive, then just don't listen to it. I think sometimes us as producers, we're very sensitive to what we do, and anybody that says anything can get us kind of flustered. So I would learn to toughen up your leather, basically. Because, yeah, I've had people say, you know, my shit sucks because of this. And I'm like, okay, well, let me try to figure it out. And then wherever you're at in your city, if you can link up with other producers, do it. You will be surprised, like, how much you'll learn if you can link up with people in your city that are willing to link up with you. You'll definitely learn a lot of techniques. I've been very blessed to link up with really dope producers here in Houston that I've learned a lot of techniques from and learned to apply them to the software that I'm using. Other things as well. Don't let people, bring you down on things. Enjoy the process. The process can suck, but enjoy it. That's the only way you're going to get better, is make a bunch of shitty beats till you start making the stuff that you really like. Listen to songs that you really like, break them down. What sounds do you hear? Try to remake the songs as much as possible, to the point where you're like, okay, I have a good idea how to make this, and then just try to make it better and try to make it to the style that you like. Damn, I think I just went on a full motivation speech with that. Again, for those that just joined the chat today, I really do appreciate it. If you want to keep sharing, please do. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I have a couple tutorials on there. I do plan on releasing more tutorials, because definitely with these streams, it definitely helps me start figuring out new videos to make to help you guys with certain issues that you might be having in a bit smaller bite-sized version with things. I know, like, sample packs and plugins might be some new ones that I have to make. And also, if there's something that I haven't talked about or no one has talked about on YouTube, to let me know, so I can try to make a video for it, so I can help answer your questions with that. And with that, shoot, I'm DJ Gonz, Houston, Texas, here at the JJ Media Studios. Big shout outs to Vin at megadjcenter.com, the dopest DJ store around. Visit them at megadjcenter.com. If you've never messed with Serato Studio, by all means do that. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I have my little challenge bar that I'm trying to go for. If I get 100 subs in 20 more days, cool. If I don't, fuck it. It is what it is. But just my own personal goal. with that. So if you can subscribe, go for it. Subscribe to my Twitch channel, my YouTube channel at Serato Studio Gonz. And with that, you guys have yourself a great evening. If you're on the other side of the world, have a good rest of your day. I'm DJ Gonz. Peace, everybody.